Welcome to the latest podcast in the EMO 2023 series. Hopefully you've listened to the first ones we've done and found out all about some of the clients we're visiting. I think, and what do you think, guys? We're going to be super busy at EMO 2023.
It's a lot to cram in, isn't it, in a week?
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
I bought some new trainers for it.
I think we're all going to need new trainers at the end of it. There's
new insoles.
5 film crews attending it. But just to clarify, I'm going to engage with these guys. First of all, Rowan, where is it?
Where is it? Hopefully it's in Hanover in Germany. It's going to be in the big Messe Hall, which is absolutely huge. I've been there before. It's going to be a lot of walking, but it's going to be a lot of places to see
It's not
as
just
well.
one hall. There's, I think, 27 in total. They're not all for Hanover EMO 2023, but there's a lot of halls there. Dates, Joe? I'm not asking for you for a date. When is it, though?
18th to the 23rd.
Hey, got them. See, we got them, and they've passed the test already.
It's
So I'm going to
on
find
the
out.
TV behind you, I must say.
See, there we go. Right, I think we need to crack on, guys, because a quick podcast is a good podcast, but it's not going to be super short. We've got to find some quality stuff about some of the people we're visiting at Hanover 2023. Just clarify, when is it?
18th, 23rd,
Thank you
September.
very much, guys.
Next,
So,
it's like 4 or 5
I'm going to
weeks.
say to my first person, and he knows who it is, I've not heard these people before, which is, I need to pronounce this right, Tesmaxan, but it's not Tesmaxan as such. It's another product. Enlighten the listeners, the viewers, and me.
Yeah, thank you, Colin. Hopefully we'll learn a bit about. So the product we're going to be talking about is the Cube Box by Tesmax and Robot Technology. Now these guys, they're based in Istanbul, Turkey, and I personally haven't heard of them before. We're going to be going and seeing them. But they've been going for a long time. They're one of the largest machine tool dealer in Turkey, which is quite a big ask because Turkey has a huge manufacturing base. The Tesmax have been going since about 2009, and the Cube Box is a machine tending solution, which there are a few on the market, but this is quite interesting. There's going to be 3 options they're showing at EMO, but what I like about this is it works with any kind of robot, any kind of control unit. So it's totally, I'd say, universal. Could work with whatever robot manufacturer you prefer, whatever control system you prefer. They can work with that. And the major reason you need a machine tending solution is because you're doing maybe not such high volume production runs. You're doing lots of different kinds of parts. So this is all about quick setup, quick changeovers between different kinds of parts, meaning you can achieve automation without having to have like a really fixed robot cell.
I'm going to stop you there. Couple of things. First of all, people think automation, big batch runs. You've already alluded to that. It's not, is it? It could be one-offs.
No. High mix kind of parts, and there's 3 different options. As I said, they're showing off. There's a pallet changer, which is kind of a pallet pull in a circle. I think
Rotary, I would suggest.
Rotary pallet pull, which is 24 pallets, and also you can change tools, 16 tools. Because obviously, if you're sticking it on a smaller machine, I know these are often used with kind of style machines, smaller machine tools. There might not be enough tools in the carousel to fit all the different high mix jobs. So you might want to swap out maybe sister tooling if you've got lots of toolware, or different kinds of tools if you've got loads of different kinds of features that need different drill sizes, tap sizes, boring heads and stuff like that. So it's a really useful, hopefully a really useful machine tending solution for subcons, for high volume product manufacturers, for basically hopefully anyone who's got a VMC and they're filling it up, they want to start running overnight, want to start running on weekend runs. Another thing I quite like about it,
I'm going to interject again.
I've got so much to say here,
Well,
Colin.
that's all right. You've got 4 minutes. We're trying to keep the 4 minutes per client, just to keep everybody happy. But you said they're brother machines, which ties in with who is supplying these in the UK.
So this is White House Machine Tools, who supply.
We've actually been there recently to see them.
Have you?
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough. And there's a good facility.
We've done a video on the Cube Box system.
Yes,
so
we are.
watch it on the
Well,
MTD.
actually, Lindsay has. Yes, we were there not that long ago.
Yes, if you want to check out that video now.
You could have watched that to research, couldn't you?
I did watch it to research. I think so, actually. Thank you, Joe. But there's the boss here keeping me on my toes. So in that video, they showed the drawer system, which I mentioned, pallet pull, 24 pallets. Then they got a space cabinet, they call it, with different drawers. And those use kind of grid system. You might have seen those before, to put in your billets up against just a little laser cut corner. So loads of grids just to put in round parts, square parts, just to stick them in without having to learn different datums and whatnot. There's also an RT stacker, which can work with lathes and VMC. So you can actually tend 2 different machines at once using the Cube Box. One might be a lathe, one might be a mill. So you could make kind of almost, you'd imagine, a part that might need turned operations, milling operations.
Stop you there because you've got a certain amount of allocated time, and that is super interesting though, because you said about changing tools as example, different configurations, so rotary, drawer, and a conveyor, I understand. But White House machine tools and Cube Box, Tesmaxan, did I say that correctly?
Yes, well done, well done.
Go and see the guys on their stand. I haven't got their stand number, but it will be on the screen. Thank you for that,
If
Rowan.
you can't tell I'm excited, check those guys out.
Absolutely. I'm going to move on swiftly to our next person, who is Joe Reynolds, and he's going to be talking about DMG Mori. Tell us. Well, my first question. I'm assuming everyone knows who DMG Mori are. Huge. You're going to get mills, lathes, mill turns, turn mills, and we had a debate. In fact, we want people to engage on this podcast. I'm sure they have already. But what's the difference between a turn mill and a mill turn? But I'll let you come to that once you tell us more about DMG Mori, and are they taking over a whole hall?
Well, the thing with DMG, and I know it's your first exhibition.
DMG Mori, don't say DMG, please.
Sorry, DMG Mori, is just a vast size. The technology is out of this world, which we'll go on to in a minute. But just the sheer, you'll be amazed when you get there. I know you say it's a hall and stuff, but you can't quite visualise it till you're there.
Joe, I'm going to say to you, get into that microphone, please, because people can't hear you. That's
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
The size of Tom in particular is going to be blown away by. I know you two gents have been to EMO before. Have you ever been to the DMG Mori?
I've walked
stand?
through the DMG Mori stand. It was what I was. I've walked through a couple of times, and it's always an amazing experience. I mean, they always kind of they make it. They did decorate the whole of the hall. It's all black, and then all you see is these DMG Mori machines, all with white and black, with a beautiful design.
Well, we saw their hall at A&B, and I thought DMG were brilliant because
DMG Mori, guys, come on.
DMG Mori's stand was brilliant because they pushed all the machines up to the edge of the hall as well.
This will start getting bleeped out
to
soon,
make you walk through the middle of the stand.
Yeah.
And what a decision that was, because what you saw was just incredible.
I will say,
And what will you see, Joe?
well, from a marketing perspective, it's been stunning as well. Calling it the DMG Mori City, isn't it? Where the parts that are made on the machines at the show, they've almost made almost like a silhouette almost of a city.
Itch your mic, please. Come on.
Joe,
People want to hear you, I know.
Difficult to explain really, but in terms of the technology, they've got various things. They've got the new MX framework, as they're calling it, which is process integration, automation, digital transformation, green transformation, and they've got 39 machines and 20 automation systems, would you believe, on the stand.
Machines.
Are you sure they're only taking up just one hall and not half of them?
Yeah, we're covering every single one of those machines in our filming slot.
Well, there's
We've
5.
got 2 hours to cover 39 machines.
I think we're going to keep Lindsay busy on that.
Yeah, 5 premiers.
We're running round.
5 premiers. We have the CTX, which people will love. CTX Beta 450TC, the CTX, the INH, and a PH cell, as well as an autonomous robot, which is the UHAMR, I think that's called. But bit of everything: automation, autonomous, pallet pulls and things.
Yeah, I think Tony might have done a video on the PH cell, if I remember correctly. It's like a massive tool changing pool above, kind of set on a mezzanine that feeds a lot of different machines. I think that's a PH cell, which they showed at Jim Toff. Maybe I think Tony did a video on that. It's
I wonder
really
if they're going to bring
fascinating.
the. I wonder if they're going to bring the big tool-in cabinet with them as well. You know, the one from the open house.
Mate, there'll be everything there.
How many? Can anyone remember how many tools were actually in that section? They had it essentially
What
looked,
cabinet was that?
It looked like sorry, not cabinet, but it looked like an aeroplane engine,
It did, yeah.
and it just got. It must have had. I don't know. I can't remember how many tools.
Well,
But
anybody
it was
listening,
enough.
can you put it on in the comments, please? How many tools were in that? If you remember, if you've seen it, please, because we want to know that.
because
Just
that was just.
to clarify though, because I think we're running out of Joe's allotted time. 39 machines.
39 machines and 20 automation systems. And the same, CTX Beta, that's what I'm looking forward to. Really small footprint, B-axis machine, really compact B-axis, high-powered. Looking forward to seeing it.
Absolutely brilliant. And also 2 key points you said as well as all those machines. A theme of EMO. They've got a number of themes. Bless you, Ryan, in the background.
Excuse me.
A bit awkward, but we're going to keep as
I'm
any good
allergic
podcast.
to
We'll
so
keep-
many machines.
We'll keep going. Is about sustainability, which is one of the key points at they're focusing on EMO 2023, and digitalisation, because people at my age have ruined the planet. We really have. And yes, I know it's not all my fault, but we're looking for sustainability and making the environment make us more energy efficient. So that's what they're doing in the DMG Mori stand. Joe, you're nodding. It's no good for people who are listening. You need to give me.
Sorry, you told me my time was up. But yeah, no, absolutely. Sustainability is a massive theme for the show, and it's no different at DMG Mori.
Absolutely, because you see on the machines how they've got the green. What's the word? Green.
Is it CO2 neutral? I think
That's
it
the
says
one.
there.
Thank you very much. You helped me out there. Anyway, Joe, thank you very much. So get yourself to the DMG Mori stand, but it's not. It's a DMG Mori Hall City.
Huge.
Absolutely right. Now
So they've got an ice cream stand.
you might have noticed you might have noticed that there's 4 of us on this podcast. I've done plenty of talking. Joe's done quite a bit. Rowan's done quite a bit. I think we should let Tom talk to us about a company called Qualichem, which is all about coolants and lubricants. Is that correct?
So metalworking fluids.
Metalworking fluids. Tell us more about them.
Well, first off, they've got a brand new production facility in Bendorf, Germany.
Are you looking at me?
I'm just wanting to know. I'm just wanting to know if I said that right. And they've got new products coming at EMO, which we're not really sure about yet because everyone's keeping secretive at the moment.
A big launch. So get to us and find out about the big launch.
But they are also bringing boron-free formulas because I don't know if you know, boron has. I don't know if it has become a banned substance, but I know they're trying to because it's harmful to the environment and whatever. But so a lot of coolant companies now are having to get rid of the boron out of the coolant, which is great for your machinists, for your shops. So, but no, they do cutting and grinding fluids. They do straight oils, metal cleaners, corrosion preventatives, metal forming fluids. I'm not 100%.
I assume that's like metal rolling, maybe.
So
for shaping.
I'm looking forward to going to the stand to find out more about that.
Guys, I'm going to stop you. We're doing a podcast. You need to use your microphones, please. You keep moving away.
And then,
people do want to hear you, so keep talking directly to their microphone.
Right. And then metalworking additives for keep your coolant running at top shape. But if I was to ask you guys, why is it important to have a top quality coolant in your machine?
Colin knows a lot about this.
That's not fair because I was going to ask that question. But because we're engaging in this podcast, always engaging, of course. But I want to ask you the question. I'm going to say can we have one option each? I'm going to go for surface finish. Do not nod into that microphone. People can't hear you nod.
Right. Okay. Yes. Surface finish is one. Yeah.
Definitely.
Joe.
For me, from my tooling background, that's the biggest one. I was always asked, you need to save 10% on your tool life, and I'll just say, change your coolant. Look at it. For me, coolant's a big one with tramp oil and things as well. Yeah.
Rowan?
Yeah, definitely. Tool life is a big point, and surface finish is important, really important in the actual cut. In terms of lubricating the actual cutting edge. But I remember someone was telling me about sometimes if you leave a cutting fluid for too long in the machine tool, you can get lots of tiny little particles, even if you're not grinding, just from the cutting process. What they call fines. So really tiny particles. So if you've left your coolant in the machine that's well used for a year, it's not just kind of the actual cut that needs to be lubricated, but actually the actual firing of this coolant against a surface will damage the quality of the part as well. So it's two different ways, one of which you might not even think about much of. So the fines are actually really important as well.
The biggest benefit though is your staff. When you go into these. Leave it with me. Leave it with me.
We're waiting for the answer. We're waiting to hear it.
You go into
quizzically.
When you go into some of these manufacturing facilities, and it's not as bad as it once was, but they smell of dirty.
What, the staff?
Dirty.
Not very nice.
Obviously,
pretty nice.
The skin, the irritations, things like that. Look after your coolant. Look after your staff. Look after your tool life.
Yeah, health exposure is very important when it comes to
dermatitis is the worst
control.
one with coolant. Dermatitis, and you honestly do not want it.
Yeah,
but
it can
also,
be really horrible.
Just as I know Colin's about to cut me off, before we finish. Enough of that. There is one more, which is reducing consumption. So if you've got a top quality coolant, it'll last longer. It'll take less time, and it'll take less manpower to keep it running. So if
saving the environment,
exactly. Yeah, saving the environment with the boron, because that's a bad. So if you're having trouble with coolant, or you want to know if a simple fix like changing coolant can give you any benefits, then check their stand out. And
it can be quite overlooked. I think since we're kind of mechanical engineers, we don't really think much about the chemicals that we use, the coolant chemical composition. I think go to the experts, go to their stand, find out exactly what it's made of, how it can help you, help your operators.
The thing is, all these coolant companies don't just mix coolant in a back room and sell it you. There's
a lot of science behind it.
Yeah, they have
Tom,
industrial labs and stuff.
You see a lot of Qualichem here in the UK. We see a lot of it. I'm pretty sure they've got aerospace approvals as well. So go and see Qualichem.
Okay,
just to model it there.
I'm going to say,
you might get a nice little pen.
Gentlemen, I'm in charge of this podcast, so we're going to have to move on swiftly. I'm going to say though, disappointed in one of the members of this panel because I found out about fines in the last podcast. Clearly, Rowan, you did not listen to the last podcast.
I should have been listening. I need it on my Audible, don't I? I need it on the playlist.
How long have you been an engineer, Rowan?
I've been apparently for about 6 years. Apparently, depends if you mean graduated or
You've learned something
apprenticeship.
new today, though.
Fines.
Like you
Well, I've learned the
found-
name for it. I knew what it was before, but I learned the name for
But
it today.
we're learning all the time about engineering. Absolutely. So I need to
Absolutely.
move on to the next one. Now, this is from, well, when people think Siemens, they think, well, I think control panel, control systems on a machine tool. And am I right in that? I'm hoping I'm right in that. But Joe, tell us more about what Siemens is going to be showcasing at, well, EMO 2023. First of all, when is it?
18th to 23rd. I didn't even look at the TV screen that
there
time.
you
Look
go.
straight in your eyes there, Colin. Direct eye contact.
Absolutely. This is all good if you listen to it on audio, of course. Joe, though, Siemens, back to you, my friend.
You say a good point there. What are Siemens about? Are they about CNC controls? Are they about software? Are they about drives? Are they about drives and controls combined? Are they about digital twins? Well, the truth is, they're about everything related to that, aren't they? And their trade show, their booth, as they call it in EMO, their booth, which is Hall 9 G54, by the way, that's no different. There's a big push on sustainability by Siemens. In fact, they're calling it Accelerate Transformation for a Sustainable Tomorrow.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? Well,
There's a lot of words there.
Exactly, but basically, it's all around Siemens plan to present how companies machine parts faster, cleaner, using less electric. That's a big push, the efficiency element. And when you mean efficiency, that can mean a number of things, can't it? It can mean electric consumption. It can mean getting parts, components off machines quicker, so you use them for less amount of time. And again, all that with Siemens. If you've been to their booth before, you're almost immersed in this journey, aren't you? This software journey, this hardware journey. What do you think of Siemens? Obviously, with your software background.
Also, before you answer that question, your phone, is that a Siemens phone?
My phone is unfortunately it's a Nokia. It's a
Oh, I
Nokia
do apologise.
phone right now,
I was
unfortunately.
misinformed by the
Can we
people.
show the camera?
Yeah.
This is the phone I'm
So for
using right
anybody
now.
who is younger than, well, yeah, who is quite young, will
Watch
never
what you
have
say
seen
here
one
now.
of these.
Anyway, we
Upsetting a lot of
digest. So, back to your comments. I do apologise, Ryan. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm quite interested in is they've got a new control coming out. That's a numeric 1 ONE, and this is kind of like it's a total redesign of the control, really, which is something they've not done for a long time. They've kind of had 828Ds, 848Ds. They've been doing incremental changes. Now, this being a completely new kind of control is developed around, you mentioned digital twins. It's about being able to, you can simulate these controls, simulate the whole machine tool, which mostly helps machine builders to design new machine tools without having to start to build the machines before they know exactly how it's going to perform, which is really important. But also it helps end users. We've done a few videos now on the Cinemeric 1 and how that helps with simulation, it helps with machine tool control, machine tool builders in making really precise machines before they have to make like a prototype, which is a big investment. So the Cinemeric 1 is really interesting, not only for machine operators, for people who run machine tools every day, it's for people who build machine tools every day as well.
But when you say the controls, we're talking the HMI, the actual control panel on
The
the
HMI,
machine.
but also in the back, the drives and the amplifiers. I think they're improving those. I'm not
Yeah, they
exactly
are.
sure how.
They've got to be, because
Siemens will say that it's the fastest control on the planet now.
and they also say as well that it'll never get bogged down like the old ones did. So essentially, like you said, when you had the 828D and you had the 840, and they reckon that once you started to fill the memory up, obviously it started to slow down because everything does.
Happens to us all, my friend.
Exactly. Colin's a prime example.
Fill your brain with so much
But
knowledge like Colin, eventually you have 2 words a minute.
Cinemeric 1, you can add more to it to keep it running flat out.
Yeah, I've only seen Cinemeric 1 probably maybe half a dozen times, but it's a stunning system, stunning, both in appearance and application, and obviously there's other elements you can add to it. 828D is fantastic control. I think everyone's touching 828D if you're in this space.
That's what I learned on.
Yeah,
there
the
you are,
the
you know,
beautiful
it's-
thing
Machine I ever run was
is,
an 828D.
And it's so easy to use, and that's what everyone's familiar with. And the beauty is with Cinemeric 1.
they've not changed the interface. So
No,
operators that are happy on an 828, they can use a Cinemeric 1 as well.
Exactly, but you can customize it and everything. And also, going back to the show, they're talking about Siemens Accelerator, Machinium, if I'm saying that right.
Machinium, what's that?
Machinium.
A new element they discovered.
Can I put a little caveat in here? If there's pronunciations here that are completely wrong, I'm going to have to apologise right now. It might well be right, Joe. I do.
No, it's
Machinium it is.
Machinium, now it is.
M-I-C-H-I-N-I-U-M,
That's what it is now.
But yeah, I believe it's part of the Accelerator brand, which is part of something that they launched, fairly recently as well. So get to the booth. the great people always put on a good show, and you just immerse yourself in
And
their,
just before you
their
fall,
technology.
Talking of accelerator, I'm going to move him on. Go on.
Just before you finish, and don't forget, Siemens always take so many members of staff. So there is always somebody there to talk to ask advice, and they will do demonstrations on everything. And it is always a really good, and we've said it before, an immersive stand where you go in and you just get sucked into this sort of control environment.
Get to their stand, Siemens. That's it.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
Sorry, yeah.
That's right. Now, you've had more than your 4 minutes, Joe.
Sorry.
Next one we're going to talk about, a bit of a pause, spinner.
Drum
now,
roll, please.
spinner, we, not me personally, but we recently, as a team, visited their facility in Bavaria. It's all about automation, small machines to big machines, milling, turning, grinding, and automation.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to hand this over to whose go is it? Up, Rowan.
Me,
You're not
it's
scoring
me.
anymore.
I'm
You don't
handling
put
spinner.
put your hand up anymore, Rowan.
No, I don't.
So
I'm
straight
not
over to Rowan.
scoring, no.
Tell more about spinner,
Yeah,
please.
so a really, really strong German machine tool builder. Obviously, Germany's very well known for all of its machine building heritage. These guys started in around 1950. They've made 20,000 machines since then, which is a huge number of machines. So they've obviously got a hell of a lot of experience and a lot of different kinds of machine as well, from compact educational lathes to 15-axis turning cells they can produce for you with full automation. So whether you are running a little college up to subcontract, up to product manufacturing, up to super high volume, I assume, kind of automotive, maybe a bit of aerospace, 15-axis turning cells with full automation. So regardless of your needs, Spinner definitely, they'll have a machine or a kind of machine for you. They do mills and lathes, so they do kind of ultra precision turning, universal turning, and multi-turret milling, but there's multi-turret turning. But they also have kind of interesting style machines where you might have 2 spindles, a turret lathe, and also at the top a full milling spindle. So these are machines that aren't quite, you can't really put them in a box. It's a mill, it's a lathe, it's kind of both. But it's got a bar feeder, so you can kind of bar feed material, which is easy automation. But these kinds of machines make parts that would not necessarily also fit in a box. So this is like kind of small medical components, maybe little one-off kind of dental parts where every piece coming off the bar feeder might be slightly different. And you might look at a part initially and go, well, of course that doesn't fit on a lathe. It's a square part, it goes on a mill. But with the style of the index machines, they can make these square parts on what might originally look like a lathe really quickly, really efficiently, fully automated in quite a small footprint, because they can pack so much technology in such a small space because of, I assume because I guess almost 73, I think it's 1950 exactly, 73 years of machining
Good maths,
experience.
Ryan, well done.
So thank you, that's quick maths right there. So really excited to see what they're showing on the stand. I assume it'll be some new machinery, some new technology.
Can I let you take a breath out? I've got a couple of quick questions.
There we
if I
go,
may.
relax.
2 things, maybe 3. 15 axes, I'm thinking A, B, C. I'm not going to go up to 15 letters, so like Z1, Z2, for example, Y1, Y2. I'm assuming, so 15 axes. But you say, is it a mill or is it a lathe? Is it a mill turn or is it turn mill?
That
is
is
there
the
a
question.
difference?
That's the question
And can
today.
people engage with us on that? Because we had the debate before we started the show.
Or someone needs to buy Colin Dictionary.
Was that?
I don't know. You might find it in that. Won't you?
Well,
Find
no,
it, the
it's-
Collins Engineering Dictionary.
Absolutely no, because as I mentioned earlier, we are learning all the time.
Everyone
So
calls
there
them
you have
mill turns, whether it's a turn mill or a mill turn.
Yeah,
Everyone
but
just
if you
calls
do
them mill
turn
turns,
milling,
don't
you
they?
might turn something and then stick a milling
Yeah.
cutter up to it, and then you're turn milling. So
Yeah,
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 for sure.
open to
Some-
debate.
And something different at Spinner, which I saw on Lindsay's video, which is pretty cool, is the 2-in-1 machine, which is a milling machine with a 3-axis bed on one side, but then normally you have a 3+2, so you have
a tilting head,
your
right?
3-axis bed
Yeah.
on one side, then you have like your C-axis rotary table, and then your head tilts. Well, on some of the spinner machines, you've got your 3-axis bed, and
a
then you
full
have a
5-axis.
full 5-axis rotary table.
Yeah.
Two
Which
in one.
again, I mean, that doesn't fit in the kind of the bar-fed high volume. That fits in a subcontract. I need flexibility.
Exactly.
I've got 3-axis parts, I've got 5-axis parts. but I
Instead
don't
of
want
buying 2 machines, buy one and best
Hold
of
on,
both.
hold
a
on.
lot
So
of
you've
sense.
actually got 2 tables there, essentially.
Yeah, you've got 2 tables with a gap in the middle, because normally your rotary table will be attached to your bed on one side. And they're always, slightly stepped down so you can spin them. But this has a completely separate, full rotary table.
Yeah,
How do you
absolutely.
get
What do you
part-
call it? Sorry, what do you call it? Not a rotary,
Knuckle.
Trunnion.
A trunnion.
There you go.
So it's got a full 3-axis bed and a full 5-axis trunnion.
How do you get?
We see a lot of those at White House. They do. It's a really popular machine for White House machine tools. But what
Would
I
it be a
like,
trunnion?
you
A trunnion
can
was just a single
use.
axis.
You can have a component across both tables. Okay, you've got a little bit of overhang in the middle, but that doesn't matter because the part's supported from both ends anyway. It's a good point, Tom. It's a very user friendly. It's very what's the word I'm looking for? Adaptable machine. Great for a subcontractor.
But how are you going to get the part from one table to the other? You have to do that manually.
No, automation.
There you go.
As what did you say? It's been automation.
There you go. Okay, that's fair enough. Now, another question is, you talk about turning mills or lathes, sliding head or fixed head?
These are normally fixed head lathes, I think, from Spinner, not sliding head.
There you go. I think we're going to finish. Any more to add, or shall we move on?
Yeah, they also do grinding as well, but grinding and turning the same machine, so you've not got a stack of tolerances. So you can have internal OD grinding and also fixed head turning in the same machine. Again, pack in loads of tech into a tiny space.
And also
so you can
OD
get super accuracy.
and ID turning as well.
And this is how they can make OD
Grinding or turning.
Grinding,
Do
sorry.
you know what? I think
OD
it sounds like
and
Rowan's
ID
going to buy
grinding.
one
I did
for his
just say
garage,
that,
isn't
Tom,
it? You're going to
I did just say that. But.
Guys,
So we'll reiterate again, right?
One at a time, please.
But that's how they can make the parts for their machines on their machines, because they can hit those huge, those really, really tight tolerances to make, for example, turning spindles.
There you go. Right, Rowan, you've had your time. Your time
Thank
is up, my
you.
friend.
Yeah,
so
5
we're going to
minutes,
move
go
on. Another very interesting set of machine tools. I'm going to move on to SW machines. How's that for a pause? A bit of building up the excitement there. Now, SW machines, I'm thinking, well, they've got the multi-spindle machines. When I'm thinking multi-spindle, you're thinking maybe, is that a lathe, be it fixed or sliding head? It's not, it's a mill. So you'll explain that to us. And I'm thinking the Star Wars theme tune, because they did that with one of their machines. Am I correct on that?
Yes. So
Tom will explain more about SW machine tools and what we can expect from them.
So SW machine tools, like you said, do multi-spindle machines. You can start with one spindle, or you can have up to 4 spindles. And these aren't like your typical mill turn machines where you've got a spindle on either side and one coming from the top.
Mill turn or turn mill?
Oh, I'm not even going down that road. These are 4 spindles that are horizontal, running 4 vices, all doing the same thing. So you get 4 parts.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Every cycle.
Absolutely amazing.
They are, but it's just they're all about efficiency and repeatability and accuracy.
And what do you think about the operation of a 4-spindle machine? Would that be quite scary if you imagined yourself operating one of those?
But
What would you?
do you know what? I thought this last time because I saw these machines for the first time at A&B, and I was like, surely that must be an absolute nightmare to program. And you just program the one part, and they all the spindles move together, all the bed
exactly
moves
the same
together.
time. So you think you'd be doing 4 times the work, but actually you've got 4 times the spindles.
Exactly. So you're doing 4 times the
work
work
once.
in the same as you'd be doing one. And then another thing about their machines, which is quite different, I'd never seen this before, is how they pallet change. So we expect a pallet change system sort of on a rotary table, but no, this is actually I don't even know what to call it. It's like I'm doing this, and I know people who are listening to this audio, they cannot.
Rather than
see.
kind of a C-axis rotary table, you've got an A-axis.
Exactly.
rotary
Right,
table.
yeah. But it goes all the way around. Doesn't it?
And it literally
So
just flips
vertical,
all
not
the way.
horizontal.
And they're super quick.
And while one set is machining, the other set can be loaded, unloaded by your automation. So that machine will never, ever stop.
They're super high-spec machines. The tool changes are also fascinating. The carousels kind of go up
Yes.
over the machines as well, so they've got a smaller footprint. You can fit more
And
in
then,
in a
talking of
workshop.
automation, they have, and I cannot remember the name of it.
While you're
but it's
remembering that,
like
I'm going to say,
a-
because it's podcast audio, there's a lot of hand movement going on here to explain these machines.
Stop the
just said that,
gesticulation, Tom.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Someone's got to time down.
So they also
That's
have
good,
like a trolley robot, which is great because they have this running all the time. There's no safety barriers. There's nothing. This thing is just weaving
Like
its
a little
way around.
AGV.
AGV, yeah.
Yeah, and it's great because it's with sensors all over it. You walk in front of it, it'll just stop.
What does AGV stand for?
I guess automated guided vehicle.
Yeah,
Maybe.
or
There you go.
autonomous guided
Well,
vehicle.
guys, again, we want engagement from people who are listening and watching. Look at that with a hand
But
gesture. AGV, just to make sure we're
And I'd
right.
be interested to find out who's using one of them in production.
I'd
right
like
now
to
in
know
the
that as
UK
well.
or
I'd like
in
to know who's
Europe,
actually using them. Yeah, but
because there's a few more machine tool builders coming out with them. SW, I'm sure it's going to be super efficient, really reliable. But I want to know if someone's actually using it in the field.
it's just strange though, because you walk onto their stand and this little robot's driving around, and there's no like barriers, there's no nothing, and you think that's just going to crash into everything, and it isn't. It's perfect. Like people.
It's like when you get
It's
to
just
the
walking straight in front of it.
B&Q and they sell the forklift driving around on site. I'll have to tell you there's an AGV going around.
I could do one to bring my gin and tonic on an evening.
Well, they do. You do get these robots to deliver your
Yes.
groceries now, because I
Yeah.
have them when I've had a few too many on a Friday night, and I need some more.
Very rare occurrence,
Absolutely,
obviously.
but you just and the little robot turns up, it checks your ID,
Does it?
and away you go. Absolutely. Anyway, a different type of AGV, but anyway.
But
moving back.
I do want to carry on the robot front, because obviously robots and automation is where everyone seems to be going, because there is a skill gap, there is a skill shortage. It's a worldwide problem. We're trying to sort it, but it is what it is. But obviously, these machines can be quite big. You think 4 spindles, it can be quite a big machine. So it's going to take up quite a lot of space in your shop floor. So SW then have looked at your robot, because obviously you've got your machine, then you've got your robot cell, and it's just, you're taking up so much room. So they actually now have the robot on a first floor platform, feeding the machine from above, so that you can walk
Using that
underneath
vertical
it.
space.
Exactly. So everybody always uses the space on the ground, but
That's why
it's
so
coming
important.
now, but people are actually going up.
It's a great idea.
And it's brilliant.
Really good idea.
And it's so strange to watch, though. You stood there, and all of a sudden this arm comes down.
I
And
love it. So on the back side of the machine, you got the tool carousel using the vertical space. On the front side, you got the robot using the vertical space. So you're
For
really
sure.
maximising
It's something,
that.
if you're in the injection molding world, you'll see this a lot. You know, the
Things get pulled out from the top,
gantry,
don't
and they
they?
come in and
Lots of gesticulation going on here. I'm going to have to move you on swiftly,
then,
gentlemen.
just before you finish,
all I
just
would
before you
say,
finish,
they are big things, but I can tell you a 4 spindle machine is a lot smaller than 4 1 spindle
it
machines.
is. And just before we finish, their rotary tables we were talking about earlier, and how they pallet change and stuff, are actually driven from both sides. Where some other customers have, or some other suppliers have the rotary table driven from one side, and then the other side is just on a nice bearing. These are driven from both sides to keep accuracy, repeatability, and reliability at the forefront of your product.
There you go. 2 very quick things. The 4 spindles on a machine, can they work? They all have to work do the same product at the same time, or can they work independently?
Same product.
Go to the
same
stand and find out.
Oh, nice dodge, yeah.
That's a
nice dodge.
great
And I'm going to
answer,
disagree
Tom.
with you on the skills. Oh, not disagree with you on the skills gap. You say about automation and skills gap. I think automation is. Yes, we've got a skills gap, but it's also about getting skilled engineers to do skilled engineering jobs, not just loading a billet all day every day.
Exactly.
There's a,
That is
tra-
it.
there's a training gap, isn't there?
Yeah,
as well?
there's a
Oh,
skills gap. So
Right. You've had more than your 4 minutes, Tom, so I'm going to cut you off. So get yourself to the SW Machine Tool stand at EMO 2023. Where is it?
Hanover.
There you go. I'm pointing. That's not
I
very
know.
good for the. And when is it, Joe?
18th to the 23rd of
That was
September.
such a
So look
sly
that
look
up.
at the telly where then.
Right, moving on, gentlemen. I have not said enough, and that's my personal opinion, maybe not the listeners' or the viewers' opinion, but I'm going to I'm going to tell you about the Tornos stand. So, anybody, I'm going to put you 3 guys on the spot first. Tornos, what would you expect from those guys?
Tiny Swiss machine. Love them.
There you go. And
Slide head machines, multi-spindle technology, very fast, very accurate machines.
Rowan,
Yeah, super high spec. Really super high spec.
there you go. Thank you. That's it all covered. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Let's save me doing it. No, that's not fair. So what we can expect from the Tornos stand is a load of machines. First of all, is a Swiss XT range. Now, have you heard of that before?
No, but can you tell us all about it?
No. The reason being they're launching it at the show, so I have no information intentionally on that. So if you want to find out about that range, go and see the guys. But as you expect from Tornos, it's going to be a phenomenal, if I could say phenomenal, range of machines. Now, you've then got, they're showcasing the Deco range of machines now. This covers a number of different configurations. So you've got your sliding head machine. Now, what I'm going to do as well is put you guys on the spot. Rowan, gang or a platen? What is it?
Well, we talked about this earlier, and I was a bit confused. You know.
You're supposed to.
Oh, was that a tester? Have I got to pretend to do the same thing
the whole
again?
thing there. You're supposed to go, I don't know, Colin. What is the difference
Well, because
between
I'm not an actor. This is totally genuine.
absolutely ruined. So
Jump in. So, what is the difference, Colin?
thank you very much. The same thing. It's what engineers love to do is have one thing and give it 2-3 names just so you can confuse people.
Just to confuse you.
So sliding head is the Deco G. You've then got the fixed head one, which is the Deco T. I was looking at their video earlier for the next one, which is a Deco TB. Now this has got a turret, okay, fixed head, 2 spindles, turret, so what? But the turret not only works, this is more of your visual thing than the audio, so sorry guys, but it works in a normal plane, but then it actually tilts around on the B-axis. Absolutely phenomenal. So you could think of a sliding head with a B-axis quite small, but you've got this big turret moving around, which can work on both spindles.
So has it got gangs and turrets, or is it just turret machines?
Just turret. Oh, you put them under pressure. I think it's just a turret. I might be wrong on that one. So that's more your fixed head side of things. So absolutely phenomenal. That really is. Now, they've also got some software to go with it, which is a TYSIS software. Essentially, you're working offline, but you can get a job in today. I need it for tomorrow. I need 2,000 of these components. There's a library of systems. It works with all your machines within your machine shop. It makes programming and manufacturing of those parts super easy, super quick, and it gives you a good idea of what the cycle time will be almost straight away. So you know that you can, right, I need that tomorrow for 12 o'clock. Yes, I can do it. So great piece of software to tie in with all their machines. Any questions, gentlemen? Or have I covered it all off?
So you covered it all?
Well, I haven't because we haven't covered the multi-spindles yet. Now, I was lucky enough to go to their open house and their manufacturing plant and do a review on one of their multi-spindle machines. They are absolutely amazing. So you can have 6 spindles, 8 spindles, huge great bar feeds out the back, and you look at these things and it's absolutely blown away. And you think, how on earth are you going to program them? Surprisingly, I wouldn't be able to do it, I've got to be honest, but very, very simple. So you might have 6 spindles, 3 tools per spindle. You can make some super complex parts, bang these out all day, every day. Absolutely phenomenal.
And your cycle time is just the longest part of the process, isn't it?
Exactly.
Which is light, it's going to be seconds.
But people think, they're not cheap, absolutely. They are a big investment. People think, I've got to be doing huge batch runs for these. It's a bit of a anomaly, is that the right word?
A myth.
Thank you.
Misconception.
That's it, yeah. Much better than the word I used. So they're easy to set, easy to change. So yes, you want to do relatively big batch runs, but you don't need to do the millions off to be cost effective.
It's not going to take you that long to program.
Absolutely.
You can swap between jobs if needed.
There you go. Thank you, Tom.
Does the TYSIS software tie in with the multi-spindles as well?
It will do, absolutely. The whole machine shop, all full of Tornos, TYSIS. There you go. Very nice. So, and one final thing on those on the multi-spindle machines, the access. So they've got a big door, and you can walk in. Engineers want to be able to get in there and set the machine and change the tooling. It's so easy to get in there. Even someone like myself could fit in there and relatively comfortably.
But then, not talking about you, obviously, but obviously, if you're doing big parts, it's more along the lines of getting a fork truck and a crane or something in there. So if you've got big access, it's easier to load bigger parts.
But this is a multi-spindle machine. It's not for big parts, is it?
Well,
there you go.
Depends.
No.
Where can they be found, Colin?
EMO Hanover 2023, 18th to 23rd September. I do not know the stall number, the stand number, but you'll see it on the ticker on the video part of this podcast. So that, I'm just checking, that is more than my 4 minutes. Have you learned anything?
Yes, and I'm looking forward to their stand.
What's the difference between a gang and a platen, Joe?
I would say they're remarkably similar.
There you go. See, education, debate, all very good.
Good answer, Joe. Good answer.
Last but not least, that is a personal opinion, is Rowan. Now, Rowan, do you measure up? Hopefully you do, because you're going to do Zola.
Yeah, hopefully.
How'd you like it for an introduction?
Yeah, we'll see. I love it.
These guys are known for their pre-setting and measurement solutions and a bit of automation. Educate us, Rowan. Tell us more about Zola, please.
Yeah, so Zola, hopefully some new tech they'll be showing, again, don't know, it's all top secret, they'll be showing off on the stand, so make sure you go check out the Zola stand, but obviously Zola well known for high quality tool presetting, also cutting tool measurement stuff, which we've not seen. We've been to do a lot of videos about Zola presetting, the Smile range, the Ventura range, or at least the Smile range mostly, but I didn't know they do lots of cutting tool measurement solutions as well, 3D scanning, so you can assume that if they're making machines to measure cutting tools, which is super high precision for cutting tool manufacturers, the pre-setting machinery will have the same kind of precision for more the subcontractors, your manufacturers measuring tool lengths and diameters. One other thing, go on, Joe.
I'm just trying. I think it's called. Is it a Genius? I think from memory.
Genius.
That might be.
I'm over here. Thank you. Oh right, sorry.
But yeah, no, I've seen a number of these in the field. You're absolutely right. So they are like an optical machine, I suppose, that but they're taking thousands of measurements in, just a few
And
seconds.
you imagine how complex cutting tools are.
Exactly, and it measures everything. You can use them for reverse engineering. So get a tool, you may want to make one similar, or change it. But they are really nice.
Absolutely, and so obviously that measurement tech, that measurement philosophy will feed over into presetting as well, which is you don't need as much precision for a tool holder. You still need a good 2 micron tolerance on the length and the diameter if you're making.
I'm going to put you on the spot
proper
here.
Parts. Yeah.
So for people that don't know what tool presetting is,
there are some people who don't still measure tools on the machine.
Yeah.
Tool.
Okay, hold on.
Collins,
Stop a second. Imagine that you don't know what a presetter is. Ready?
Imagine. I'm trying.
Yep, I just imagined I don't know what a presetter is.
Wow.
Hit me with it. What is it?
Okay, so in a nutshell, normally, if you're going to cut a component with the tool, you need to know how long the tool is because they're all slightly different lengths. Normally, you would wind this down to a known point on your machine tool, and you would set the tool length using that. You'd zero it off after winding it down. That takes time in your machine tool. That means your spindle is not cutting because you're using this expensive big piece of machinery just to wind down and set a length. Instead, you can buy a tool presetter, which you put your tool inside your presetter in your spindle. You wind a measurement like a camera down, and then measure your tool length, and so you can measure all of your new set of tool package, for example, for a new component, while the machine is cutting a previous batch. So it's all about making sure your machine is running as much as possible.
Keeping those spindles turning.
But also there's another case to be said for presetting, which is you don't want an operator running that presetter all the time. So instead, Zola offer full automation on a lot of their presets, even the entry level ones. A lot of the tool presetting can be automated, so your operators don't have to sit there, wind down, bring wind the camera in, measure the tool length, measure the tool diameter. You can, as long as the cutting edge is clean, you can just plonk it in, press a button, the Zola will come down, automatically measure the tool length and diameter.
Very, very technical there. Plonk it in and press a button.
Plonk it in. Well, that's what you want. You want it to be as simple and easy as possible, so your operators don't have to think so much about that and actually worry about the part tolerances, about quality of components.
And then how easy is it to get them? Because obviously you've just preset your tools on this machine.
Yeah.
But your milling machine doesn't know what they are.
No, it doesn't.
So how easy is it to get that data from the Zola machine into your machine?
There's a lot of different options, Tom. Really good question. You can you can either write it down on a piece of paper, which is like the low tech method with a pencil and a piece of paper. You could print off a label and stick the label on the tool holder, which you might leave a bit of crap on the tool holder when you take that label off again.
Thank you.
You never know. Then you can use something called DNC. Which sends with some machine controls will support, which means you can send the length and diameter to information directly to the machine control. Another thing you can do is post-process, either generate a program, which you then somehow send to the machine, and then run the program, which will set the offsets. There's loads of different. If you can't tell, there's so many different options.
It's just all about digitization as well. So rather than having a sticker,
yeah, we're going up to kind of slightly more integrated solutions where you don't have to walk around and type in a number.
And there's also the QR codes as well, isn't there? So you can actually have a scanner that is
That's
wired
exactly
into
where
your
I'm
machine.
leading up to. Yep.
Oh, sorry, I'll leave you to
All right,
it.
Tom,
I'll leave
don't
you
worry
to
about
it.
it.
You
It's
go
not like
for
this
it.
is my section or anything. We're already over time, but I might talk about the ZID code from Zola.
ZID code, not
ZID
QR.
code, ZID, COD. And
we know how to spell code, but
the ZID
thanks.
code. So instead of, and this is kind of an alternative to the Balaf option, which is there's other kind of RFID chips available, but it's generally known as Balaf in the industry. It's a really good system, but it can be quite expensive, can take a long time to integrate. So another option is to have a QR code that kind of somehow attaches it to your tool holder, either through a sticker, or ZID code has kind of this little harness you then stick on the tool holder. And you can scan the tool holder QR code. That will then associate the new tool length and diameter to that QR code. You'll take the tool holder to your machine tool, which will also have a scanner on it. You say you want to stick in tool 81. You scan the tool holder QR code, plonk your tool holder in the machine. That'll update that offset. So there's so many different options. If you're interested, go check out the Zola stand. Talk to your sales manager. They'll explain this way better than I will. I mean,
I just can't wait to visit the Zola stand and ask how the plonking works.
how the plonking's the most important part.
There
Do you
you
not
go.
know?
I'm going to have to end this podcast on
Clean your
that
tapers,
note,
boys
but
and girls, and you got some good plonking.
everybody who's been listening or watching, I hope you have enjoyed the show, engaging. And please, if you've got comments and AVGs, for example, gangs and patterns, give your opinions, your thoughts on that. So we do want your engagement, your comments on that. We hope we've explained it to some degree of satisfaction. but whet your appetite so you actually get to those stands for all those people who've been
I
through.
think
today.
someone's going
And
to be throwing the dictionary at you, Colin, aren't they?
absolutely,
It's fair to say we'll
that's it.
explain it even better at EMO, won't we?
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening and watching. We can't wait to get to EMO 2023, 18th to 23rd of September in Hanover, in Germany. Enjoy the rest of the podcast series. You'll find out all about the people we're visiting, and we really, really look forward to seeing you all at EMO 2023.
Can't wait. Let's go.
Let's do it.
From the 18th to the 23rd of September, MTD will be at EMO 2023 in Hanover. So what are you waiting for? Get in touch, get ready, and get excited about EMO.